So just I want to know how many people are from core security background and how many people are developers. Security from core security. Can you please? Yeah. I can assume remaining people are from the development and different domains. Okay, thank you. See, as Michael is given an introduction, so I have nearly 19 plus, almost nearly 2 decades of the experience. So most of my experience into security domain. I worked right now I'm working in the Philips as a senior manager, but though designation I am a senior manager, but from heart I'm core architect, okay, security architect, okay. I want to involve in the lot of technical stuffs. I want to initiate lot of technical stuffs to the any organization where I work. And that is one thing. And other apart from that one, my experience, I have wide variety of experience because I worked in the healthcare industries. I worked with finance domains. I work with the mobile applications domains. I work for the virtualization. I work for the pharmaceutical companies, okay. So with different domain knowledges, right, I have wide exposure to web applications, web services, cloud security, mobile application security, AI security. Currently what's going on, then hardware security, data security, security automation. Especially we built lot of in-house automation framework, security automation framework, which is more robust and compared to any professional tools, right, which has a zero false positive. So from the scratch we have a experience, me and my team has exposure to building those kind of security automation framework from the scratch. And Kubernetes security, threat modeling, reverse engineering. These are my core expertise in the security domain. Okay. So with that one, okay, just I want to start my experience with how we able to achieve Kubernetes security through AI. Okay. So till last year we used to do lot of security automation with respect to the Kubernetes as well as the EKS. AWS EKS. Okay. The problem with earlier approach is, there is a security automation framework we built with the help of CSS benchmark, Kubescape, Kubecode. All these included. Lot of issues we able to identify. At the same time, lot of false positive issues also will be there. Along with that one. Okay. So using the AI, how I can able to resolve this one, and how I can make it even more robust. How I can bring the latest vulnerabilities into the Kubernetes security, so that immediately I can capture. Okay. This is theme we started with. How we can able to integrate AI with the Kubernetes security. If I'm not wrong, every company now has the KPIs. At least 10 to 40% KPIs, how we want to achieve the AI. Okay, this is the same thing for us also. I think most of the companies. So because of that one, we initiated a lot of AI initiatives. As one of the part of those initiatives is AI driven Kubernetes. So as you know, already the regular Kubernetes security matters, right? How modern enterprises are moving to the Kubernetes, because the industries which has a large scaling requires, right, they have to go for the Kubernetes, because otherwise they cannot able to scale up with the larger scale, especially if you take not audible. Okay. Especially the companies like Nokia, Flipkart, Walmart, or any healthcare, right, they need immediately, they have to scale up their applications or deployments. Okay, without that one they cannot able to progress. Okay, for that one, what is the best option currently it is having is Kubernetes. Okay, so that's the reason most of the industries are moving toward the Kubernetes. But from the security challenges, so we know lot of issues will come, but we cannot able to identify from the security perspective in the initial stage. Once the development is done, it will go for the security, but security issues will be identified. But unfortunately, the product managers, the developers doesn't have a sufficient time to address that one, because it was identified at the end of the development, or in the middle of the development. So this is traditional what is the current problem we have. So, and also we have to look for the Kubernetes threat landscape. Okay, see, a lot of issues are there in the Kubernetes. Okay, one is privileged containers, how we can able to provide the right privileges to the whatever the containers I'm using, and exposed dashboards. Okay, once we deployed this Kubernetes, the dashboard whatever we deployed, most of the time it will be there in the publicly accessible, or without any proper authentication and authorization we can able to access. Then weak RBAC. Okay, that is another biggest problem in the Kubernetes. And host path mounts. Okay, usually the developers see these are the most commonly observable development issues at the in terms of Kubernetes. And also security in environment, lot of times, okay, lot of security details are hard coded, security sensitive information will be hard coded in the environment variables. Unintentionally developers will forget, okay, to remove that one when we go for the deployment or when we provide the security builds. Okay, and also publicly available services, then vulnerable images itself only while building the images, right, without any proper knowledge they may build lot of vulnerable images. And no network policies, not properly configured these network policies. So these are the one of the few of the most available security vulnerabilities in terms of the Kubernetes. So traditional security limitation is as we discussed, right. So if you want to scale up this Kubernetes, right, hundreds of YAML files will going to created by the developers. These reviews will take huge amount of the manual efforts, and identifying the issues also very difficult. Okay, so with this traditional security limitation, right, scaling up or bringing the security issues in the early stage as possible, right, it is very difficult. Okay, that is the biggest challenge in the current industry. So what is AI-driven Kubernetes securities? So can I use any of the artificial intelligence, AI, machine algorithms, and large language models, LLMs? Either it may be open source LLMs or it may be any commercial, for example, Bedrock or similar kind of LLMs. And also, can I use any RAG? Can I use MCP servers? Using all this integration, can I solve this problem? This is this is called AI-driven Kubernetes security. Okay, by using these kind of AI-related technologies, how we can integrate it with the Kubernetes and how we can able to bring up all the security vulnerabilities as early as possible in the development phase. Okay, see the biggest help what we can do as a security engineers to the development team or the product teams, right, identifying the risks in the early stage. Okay, that itself on the biggest help. If we cannot able to help with that one, right, obviously whatever the security risk we identify, right, most of the time it will be postponed. By postponing the any security risk, we are not adding any value to the system. Okay, might be we are identifying, but because of the business needs they cannot able to fix that one, they have to take the decision postpone. Then if the risks are postponing, what is the use of identifying the risk? So we have to think as a security engineer, right, how we can influence the product teams to make sure that one in the same release, identifying the risk in the early stage, push that one to the product teams, fix immediately, even including the low, not only high and critical, including the low security risks also. That is one of the issue. If we solve, right, as a security engineer, right, we are completely successful in the industry. Okay, if we cannot able to that one, see over a period of 2-3 releases, we have hundreds of security risks will be there in the system, but R&D teams doesn't have much time to address that one. Okay, so this is one of the biggest industry challenge. So I'll tell high level architecture, how we can able to anybody who are interested to bring AI into the your Kubernetes security, right. See, one thing is once your YAML file started developing, right, the developers will start writing these YAML files in the initial stage itself only. Using these YAML files, can I able to use AI and RAG servers or any MCP servers tools? Can I able to identify at the development in the initial coding phase? For example, today some of the developers is written couple of YAML files. Can I able to identify the issues in the same day? Yes, we can able to identify those issues in the same day. So if you identifying the same day, right, one thing is the developer has a sufficient time to fix the issues, and also the remaining YAML files, if I'm not wrong, any company, right, hundreds of thousands of YAML files will be developed. Okay, so once developer knows, oh, this is the security vulnerabilities, this is the security area where I need to concentrate, right, remaining YAML files, whatever you're going to develop, right, at least 50 to 70% of the risk will be reduced. Okay, because he already has the knowledge. If you give that knowledge, right, already it is developed, he cannot help much. Okay, fixing that one. So again, going to that one, right, once we identify the these kind of Kubernetes risks, right, from the security, then can I able to create nice mitigations also using the LLMs, because nowadays LLMs, right, for example, you take Olama, open source LLMs, or else you take any Bedrock hosted LLMs, commercial one, we need to pay. Okay, using that one, right, once you identify the risk with your own knowledge with the RAG as well as the with LLM, right? LLMs will give the nice mitigations also, which helps the developers to understand easily, fix immediately. That is the advantage using the AI. Okay. So, and finally we can integrate this one into CI/CD pipelines also immediately, so that we no need to much bother about that one, okay, to give these issues. As soon as developer push the code into this their GitHub repo or any their source code repos, right, immediately he will get caught, okay, oh, these are all the security vulnerabilities, so that we can push that one within a few minutes also. It is not, it may not be exaggeration, okay. Once the development is done, once the PR is merged, within a few minutes we can able to identify these kind of vulnerabilities earlier, which will take at the end of the development. So from where to, from the end of the development, we are coming to the same day, and the few minutes later, we are identifying the security risk. This is the power of using the AI plus security automation to identify the any Kubernetes issues. So what is the left shift, shift left, security AI model? So as I may explain, right, see, earlier development model, in the deployment mode, in the deployment stage, we used to identify the risks, but now with the current trend with automation as well as the AI integration, right, we can able to identify those issues at the code level itself only. I think we can go back to even one more level. Okay, there is a SDLC, there is a threat modeling. Before, in the designing phase itself only, using AI, we can able to identify. In the upcoming days, right, we have a few more demos in terms of threat modeling, how we can do before one stage, before the coding. Okay, I can able to identify these issues. Those sessions also there and demos also there. So at this current session, right, we are going to identifying all these issues at the code level itself. Immediately developer writes the code, developer get the security risks from the security engineer through the help of the AI. So this is called shift left security with AI. So for example, I'll give one of the example. See, every company has their own requirements. They know how to create their Kubernetes, how to write their containers, how to create their pods. Okay, according to that one, the standard, what are the Kubescape, Kubebench, or any CSS benchmark, right, that may not be applicable. Okay, few of them in corner cases. So for those kind of corner cases, what we can do is we can build our own RAG. Okay, RAG means retrieval augmented generation. Once I send my information to this one, right, first it will go to my RAG. It will check, oh, is there any misconfiguration, is there any vulnerability, is there any security risk. Okay, according to that one, it will identify. Then it will go to the next to the AI. Okay, so in the RAG itself only, what are the requirements specific to company, we can able to identify those kind of issues. Then in the later stage, send that one to your AI. AI will give the very nice mitigations, how to reproduce the steps, how to create very beautiful reports, so that easily it will be understandable by the developer. Okay, so using this kind of technologies, we can able to integrate the complete end-to-end Kubernetes security. And also at the runtime, see, earlier I shown with the coding level. Okay, now at the runtime, right, runtime also we can able to integrate. Okay, once your SaaS level security is done, when it is the same applications is deployed into your deployment mode. So using the deployment mode, again multiple things will happen in the deployment mode. Okay, so by analyzing that applications, what all the issues are there, those kind of issues also we can able to identify at the runtime. And Kubernetes security at the different level, as we discussed today, right, one is at the SaaS level, one is at the IAST. I'm skipping the DAST level, okay, because in the DAST, right, it won't do much interaction with the application. The DAST and the IAST is the main difference is DAST, as soon as the application is deployed, right, we directly go and we'll get the risks. Okay, but the IAST, what happened, the application will start running, it will do their operations, then IAST will observe how the application is working, what are the things happening in the behind the screen, then it will try to identify the issues. Okay, in those two stages, one is the SaaS level, another one is the IAST level. Okay, in the SaaS level, as we explained, right, we can easily create our RAG as well as the AI, then we can able to identify it. At the IAST level, right, again using the your AI, RAG, and also few of the MCP server. Using the MCP server, you can install what are the security tools you want. Then you can observe how your application is really running and what all the interaction is happening, what is your business logic is running in the inside the Kubernetes. Then understand that one, accordingly you can create the risks. Okay, so these are very, very robust. Okay, So in these two stages, we can able to identify the any kind of risks at coding level to till the deployment level. Okay, your dev deployment, even we can integrate this one to your actual production also, by separating the your any sensitive information from the your client, it is there. Okay, because we have to very careful when we are going for the actual deployment security testing, right? So that my AI or my automation will not impact or will not going to touch any of the business logic of the system. If something goes wrong with the business logic, right, maybe entire clients will go into impact. Okay, so using this separation of the business logic, right, we can able to integrate this one into the actual client deployments also. So in the first stage, right, here in the SAST, first it will take the started reading the YAML files, then it will understand each and every YAML file, what all the configuration is done, then it will go to the RAG server, then in the RAG, right, it will understand, oh, what is the issue with this one. In case if it is able to identify with the RAG, then it will pop up that issue, otherwise it will go to the next level, then it will identify the issue, then finally it will create the risks. At the same time at the IST, right, the same config file, once the deployment is done, again it will go to the RAG, MCP server, then then it will come to the risk stage. Okay, what are the issues it will get, it will able to identify from the that deployed code. See, SAST level, for example, I given one of the example. Okay, this is one of the sample YAML file which was created by the developer. Earlier, once all the development is done, it will go to the until the security builds will be provided to the security engineer, right? We have to wait, then we have to start testing, then we have to identify the risk. But here in the with the help of AI plus automation, right, as soon as this file is written, right, we can able to identify the lot of security vulnerabilities inside that YAML file. Okay, for example, this is a simple YAML file, and this is the most commonly seen issues across any industry. If you take any standard industry, right, these kind of mistakes will be happen by the developer very often. Okay, if you take network host, right, host network, they by default they'll make it as a true according to their design patterns, right, or design implementation. They have to look for whether host network has to be made it as a true or false. Why this is become a true is, in the YAML files while creating the Kubernetes, right, these files will be, these values will come as a default values. They don't keep as a false. Okay, so developer, what he will do, he will start testing, yes, all the functions are working fine. He thought, okay, functions is working fine, why I need to bother about that one, push that code into the deployment. Okay, because he doesn't know that is the default value which I need to review that one, whether it is really required that one to host network to make it as a true or false as per his design. He, as a developer, right, it is not much important for him. From the security engineer, right, this is very important. What is the default value? It is default value is really applicable for my application or not. Okay, then similarly you can take privilege is true. He is given complete privilege to the whatever the user it is there. Then run user as a 0. Zero means admin level. Okay, then secrets, as we said, right, this is one of the biggest industry challenge. Okay, sensitive information, hard coded secrets inside the code. Anywhere you take, right, any company, it is not particular to any particular industry or company. This is the industry wide challenge, because these all the issues will happen unintendedly with the developer. Okay, it is not intentionally, they don't want to hard code that one. While testing or unit testing or dev testing or writing the code, or to make easy to work that workable build, right, you will hard code that one. Okay, ultimately while giving the builds or while producing the builds, right, the developer used to forget these kind of issues, but by identifying these kind of issues, right, it can go very wrong. Okay, for example, you can take, okay, last December or last September 2025, right, Hulud attack 1.0, Hulud attack 2.0, and recently this month Hulud attack, again the miniature of the Hulud attack, right, by just taking the one of the credentials in the CI/CD pipeline, right, the entire company source code is completely compromised. Okay, in multiple companies, last December, just in the CI/CD pipeline, what are the functional accounts they'll use for their orchestration, right, just they extract to the AI, and again through that credentials they'll try to enter into the organization, then they target entire source code, again they'll create a lot of AI agents. The AI agents automatically copy their entire source codes to the outside their organization. All these things will happen within a few minutes. Ideally, even if you ask for developers or DevOps engineer, right? Hey, I want to copy these many repos to, somewhere else, right? It will take days. But through AI, right, within minutes will happen. This is already proven in the last December, okay? So this is, one of the, biggest industry challenge. And again, image, taking to the, latest, okay? Without validating properly, it will take to the, latest image, what open source vulnerabilities are there, is there, am I scanned that one properly or not? They don't bother about that one. So all these issues within the, fraction of, it will take hardly 1 to 2 minutes to identify these issues with the automation plus AI, okay? Earlier, which used to take ages. So now we bring it to the minutes through implementing lot of, high-end AI systems, right? We can able to identify these issues in the future seconds. It is not exaggeration. We can able to identify these issues with the seconds. Earlier, it used to take weeks to gather time. And again, the same flow, okay, which, I given the, explanation, okay, how it will go, wrong, what are the things we have to take care with the, SaaS. And the same thing, for example, you take the same example, okay, how we can able to achieve this one with the IAST, because I talked about the IAST. Once your deployment is done, how your application start working on that one, then you start analyzing through the AI, then how we can able to bring that one, okay. So this is also we can able to achieve in our current organization, and also it is working very well, okay. So for that one, right, what is the inputs is, see, you have to connect to your Kubernetes, right? You need to configure your config files where your access key, secret key will be there to connect to your Kubernetes or EKS, okay? So those things you will going to provide. At the same time, you will tell what are the things it has to be checked, okay? Your deployments, pods, daemons, stateful, everything, what you can choose, okay, what to, analyze your AI, then how to identify the issue. Once it is connected, right, the scan live through, Kubernetes cluster, it is there, right? Automatically, once you provided these details, it will connect to your Kubernetes. Once it is connected to the Kubernetes, it will try to analyze your, workable builds, what all the business logics it is running in the behind the systems, and it will analyze those things also through the AI. For this AI, right, again, you need to feed few of the information also sometimes, and also very important is which model you will select, okay? It is not all the LLM models will not produce the same results. The finalizing the model according to the need is very, very crucial step in this process. Because if you go with any open source models, that has a lot of limitation, and also there is a supply chain attack possibilities very high, okay? Because we don't know, hundreds of thousands of open source components will be used in the behind the these scenes whenever we use or whenever we deploy any LLM models, right? That's the reason securing those LLM models will become a very, very crucial, and identifying which model will be out for me, how this model is it this model is sending any my sensitive information outside my organization. That is another very crucial step in this stage, okay? If you miss this one, right, instead of my developer code exposes, right, security engineer will only going to expose entire thing into the outside organization, okay? When we build these robust AI systems, this is very crucial things, okay? Identifying the model and protecting that model. Otherwise, as a security engineer, myself only I'll host entire thing into the outside world, okay? That is, another thing. So once it is done, right, it will scan everything, okay? It will try to identify different kind of issues, and also it will try to create this kind of nice dashboard, okay? So that developer no need to worry about that one. Once he push the code, once he deployment, right, within few minutes he can come and he can check the dashboard, what is going on, okay, from the security side. So developer no need to connect to the security engineer also. So automatically himself only can go and he can check these dashboards. He can able to identify all the issues. And AI-driven behavioral analytics, okay. So also we need to check, okay, how we can able to integrate this one to, how we can able to integrate this AI into the CI/CD pipeline. Take, these days mostly it is the GitHub, GitLabs or Jenkins, whatever the source code technologies we're using. Then we can able to easily integrate this one into CI/CD pipelines. See, again, instead of running this one manually every day, right, if we can able to integrate with the CI/CD pipeline, that is very, very advantageous. As soon as the PR rises, right, if we integrated your CI/CD pipeline in such a way that let that run every PR, okay. So even the small changes, even the small variable, for example, earlier slides you seen, right, just one of the config file if you change also, that has a lot of impact on our production systems, okay. For example, at the end, okay, with hurry, some of the developer is just hard coded one of the credentials. Might be it is a very small mistake, but that has a huge impact. Okay, these kind of issues also we can easily identify if we integrated our CI/CD through AI and automation with the CI/CD integration and also with the every PR. Okay, that is very crucial. And real time enterprise use cases, as I said, right, healthcare industries, because it is a lot of chain of hospital will be connected. It is very important to scale up. For example, tomorrow the new customer comes, he will tell, okay, I have 500 hospitals in my network, I want to integrate this one. Okay, the scalability is Kubernetes. Okay, any retail, for example, today you take Flipkart, Walmart, Amazon, scalable. It is a very huge scalable. Okay, in those scenarios, again Kubernetes will come into the picture. Okay, this is one of the easiest solution to scale up, and also retail or any commercial application domains, right? Again, Kubernetes is very much useful. Okay, and what are the AI security benefits? Okay, one is faster security assessments, as we said, right? The days to it will come to the minutes, not even hours, it will come to the minutes, and reduce lot of manual efforts where the security engineers, right? For example, the one of the biggest challenge might be every industry is facing is, once we reported any CV, right? For example, in the open source, lot of developers will ask, hey, can you try to exploit and show me this one? Until that one, I don't agree this one. I think this is the common, counter attack comes from the development teams or the architects. Okay, do we have really sufficient time to exploit and show all the CVs? Definitely it is not there, right? Because thousands of CVs will be there in any open source components. Okay, by automating this one, right, the security engineer can concentrate on that one. Okay, how I can able to showcase effectively to my organization, so that with this proper POC, right, all the development teams will go fixing all these issues. Okay, until unless I proven this one, okay, this kind of impact will happen on my product. Even product owners also sometimes they will take the other path, release deadlines. Okay, instead of we want to bring that one to deadlines to the security first, right, we want to show that POCs. To take that POCs, we need more time. To take more time, we need this AI and automation. Okay, otherwise security engineers also will face lot of challenges in terms of the time. And other thing is scalable. Tomorrow they brought another new clusters, within hours we can able to integrate, we can able to identify the issues. Okay, company how much scale it will done, it doesn't matter for the security engineer. Within hours he can also scale up. Okay, then we don't need new resources, we don't need new technologies. Using the existing AI and automation, we can able to identify those kind of issues with rapidly. And one more thing is, might be all the security engineers might be thinking, oh, is it my job will go? Definitely no. Okay, as the AI is evolving, right, the more security jobs will going to evolve. Okay, because whatever the AI, whatever the automation you will going to implement, right, again for that one security is required. Through AI, right, lot of supply chain attacks, lot of vulnerabilities are increasing. As you see on the recent releases notes, right, after AI is integrated from last 8 to 10 months, right, the CVs generation is becoming 60% faster than the earlier. Okay, because now researchers are also using the AI to identify the vulnerabilities. The CV is also growing very fast, so that we no need to much bother about that one. Okay, whether my job will be there or not, if I bring days work, weeks work to the minutes or the seconds. Okay, definitely we have a lot of work to do in the in terms of the security domain. So another one is intelligently it will predict the risk prioritization. Okay, because even though earlier, right, we will give some 10 risks. Okay, but we don't know how to prioritize. To prioritize giving to the R&D team, right, again it takes huge amount of time. Instead of that one, this AI will do all those helps. Okay, what is really required, how any developers can able to fix, and also reduces lot of false positive noise. Okay, this is the one of the biggest problem when you integrated any tools into the security domain. Okay, it gives the results, at the same time 80 to 90% lot of false positive. With the AI, right, if I can bring that one to very limited numbers, right, then developers also will adopt very easily. Another one is the improved developer experience, because developers no need to much depend upon the security engineers. He can easily able to identify the issues also, and he also knows the mitigations, how to resolve that one. You no need to much communication, the many meetings with the security architects also. Then continuous compliance also. Along with that one, right? If we can intelligently integrate it, compliance also we can bring it to the A through A, we can achieve all the your governance, okay. For example, you're deploying the European region or you deploying the China region. According to that one, you can achieve the compliance also. And another one is faster incident response. These are the main advantages using the AI security. And challenges also there. If you are not using proper security models, right? Hallucinations will be more. Whatever you will ask, it will imagine and it will give the wrong answers. And incorrect recommendations will give. Model poisoning itself only it can be possible. Then prompt injection can be going to happen, okay, if the model is not rightly integrated and also not secure very well, okay. Then again sensitive data exposure. These are all the challenges with the AI also, because as we bring the AI, providing security, earlier we were providing security to the product, now we are much giving the security to our AI itself only. And also operational challenge, training the data quality and cost of the AI inference. Again, cost, again it is a matters, okay. Then integration complexity in bringing lot of tools into the MCP server, RAG configurations. So those complexity also will be there, and governance requirement. And what is the future in the AI Kubernetes? See, just we are also evolving, and as we evolving, right, AI is also evolving. In the future, right, definitely the Kubernetes, once we build the secure AI models into the Kubernetes, right, that itself only having a capability to scale up also. That itself only having if some issue will come with my security code, right, automatically fix. I hope many people are already started using Copilot. Now Copilot, just tell the Copilot, okay, what is the instance, that automatically fixes. Then there is a lot of tools are there which automatically remediates. So these are the things will be happening with the AI also. In the future we can see lot of self-healing configurations, auto remediate risks, okay. Then predict attacks, automatically it will predict and dynamically enforce your policies and continuously optimize the clusters also. So these are the things in the upcoming days, right, it will going to evolve in the Kubernetes AI security also. These are the future what we are planning, how we can able to scale up our AI security in terms of the Kubernetes. And finally, just I want to thank for the Nokia company as well as the ASEC community to giving me this opportunity. And also please stay tuned for the future, right? There is a lot of hands-on sessions, okay, with terms of now whatever I talk about, SAST driven Kubernetes security, IAST driven Kubernetes security, threat modeling through AI, then threat modeling through your security automation. So all these things, hands-on labs are coming in the AI security community. Please stay tuned, be active, and subscribe to that LinkedIn as well as the WhatsApp post, okay, so that you will heard about